Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen, it's Friday. I'd like to wish everybody a happy Friday, and you know what that means. The Friday night story time with Stock Market Steve live stream starts tonight, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. It's a chance for us to all come together, get some laughs off, talk about things like back in the day and different stories I talk to you guys about. And I can't wait to see everybody there. Now, another announcement I have is tonight, after I do my other live stream, this live stream will start probably around 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, so it's 10 o'clock on the East Coast. And in this live stream, it's going to be a little bit more serious. I'm going to talk about the story I covered this week, Kinsley Welty. I have the documents from the arrest affidavit and what happened to her and why the grandmother, the mother, and the boyfriend are all locked up. And I promise you guys, like I said yesterday in my other video, when you hear some of these some of the stuff and statements made by these people about this little 5-year-old girl and what they did to her, it will be astonishing to you. So tonight at 9 o'clock, I will have a live stream talking about the case, and I'll read the arrest affidavit to you guys. And we'll talk about it. But anyway, let's get this news going. And this story broke yesterday. Well, I seen it yesterday. And it's about this man right here. Put him up there. Let's go. This guy right here is Marquette Johnson, 45 years old. This guy right here was a prison guard. And this guy just got sentenced to 30 years in federal prison for transporting women inmates, over a dozen of them, dozen victims, and violating them during the journey from one place to another. Now, guy was arrested. He's sentenced to 30 years federal time. Let's jump a minute, take a look at it, come back and do what we do.
It's never like a punishment or reasonable for a human being to be raped because they are accused of a crime.
Today, the man who was supposed to keep women safe instead found out that he's going to be in a federal prison for the next 30 years. Marquette Johnson admitted to raping 3 women in his custody, one of them while passing through Bernalillo County.
But the federal investigation identified a dozen other alleged victims. Brittany Costello joins us from the federal courthouse downtown with what all she's learned here.
The judge told Johnson today he violated the public trust with people who could not protect themselves, saying there's nothing worse, before handing down the max sentence.
Marquette Johnson was a prisoner transport guard working for Inmate Services Corporation. In 2019, he was using these vans to pick up and drop off inmates across the country. But First Assistant U.S. Attorney for New Mexico, Holland Castron, says he was doing a lot more than that.
Johnson was calculated. He proactively sought out and created opportunities to be alone with these women that he transported.
In December, Johnson admitted to raping 3 inmates in his custody, but investigators know of a dozen others. One woman says he threatened her with a gun. She was assaulted in 2019 near the Metropolitan Detention Center in Albuquerque after he dropped off other inmates. Attorney Laura Schauer-Ives represents her. We talked to her in December.
It's never like a punishment or reasonable for a human being to be raped because they are accused of a crime.
Tuesday, Johnson was back in federal court where he was sentenced to 30 years in prison.
While this sentence cannot undo the emotional and physical trauma that Mr. Johnson caused TP and these other victims, it will ensure that Johnson spends decades in prison.
But there are more questions about other victims, whether Inmate Services Corporation did enough to protect inmates, and who will hold those private companies accountable. The U.S. Attorney's Office wouldn't speak to that.
We, as well as DOJ, are exploring our options within our authorities to address and prevent the future exploitation of vulnerable victims like these.
We encourage survivors to find the courage to come forward and report these crimes to the FBI.
Brittany Costello, KOB4.
Guys, that's the story of This guy right here, Mr. Marquette Johnson, a real low-life piece of shit. Now, this guy, as you've seen, he worked for a company that transported prisoners across the country, it said. Now, before I even go into that, looking at this dude over here, get where I put these pictures. This guy, anybody that been locked up before, recognize this type of person. This guy right here, the way his pictures is and the way he come off, he looked like one of them prison guards. Y'all remember this? Those of you that have been incarcerated that think he cool all the time. Want to be a cool guard. Want to talk to the inmates about street stuff, about stuff out in the street, not whether it's bad or good. But he come off as that type. The type that try to be friendly with everybody, got his hands in different things, but you don't know what it is. But every time like chicks come around, or female officers come around, he be like hating if they like show attention to any inmate or something. This dude right here, one of them people that try to look sexy in front of the chicks. You see him in his pictures. Look at him, sitting up there with his badge on like, yeah, sense of accomplishment. Look at me, ladies, here I am. Corny stuff, corny. Guys that know, look at this type of dude. A lot come from what your pictures look like. This guy give off that vibe. Now, I don't know him, but I think I know his style. You know what I mean? Cornball through and through. Gave him 30 years. I'd have gave him 60 years or 80 years. And I'm going to tell you why. These people are already locked up. They were serving their time, given to them for what the crimes, every crimes they had before you showed up. How are you a vigilante for justice and your justice is to have sex with these women that are already sex starved from being in prison? You use your position of power over these people, regardless of they men or women, because there was a male guard not too long ago doing this to men. A lot of this stuff don't even come from lust sometimes. In his case, I think it did, but a lot of times it come from hatred of women. Either something that happened when they were younger, or somebody reminds them of somebody they had a bad experience with, they take it out on everybody. This guy right here should never get a chance to get out. He shouldn't. What he did was appalling. It makes me sick. Driving across the country, you got to take these girls to and fro. You got to drop them back off. How you think that ride going to be after you do what you did to them? See, a lot of guys out here that think sex is a motivating factor in women like it is men, a driving force rather. Oh, I'll have sex with her. She'll like it. And then after it's over, she won't say nothing. And every time I transport her again, I'll have it set up to where she'll want some more of me. Sickening. His whole mentality of how he did that. He pulled guns out and scared the chicks in the door. Ain't nobody gonna kill nobody. You wasn't gonna kill nobody, especially when they shackled in the car and stuff. It was no reason for you to do that. This guy is a serial rapist. He is. 12 victims, only got charged for 3. But that was enough to give him 30 years in jail. I'd have gave him the death penalty. I would have. First of all, you wearing the badge that we gave you. You didn't do your job in a position of power against people that was powerless. For that, you need to be shown the flowers. I would show this guy no leniency, man. For real. Saw him in all his pictures, trying to look sexy as hell. For what? Only to go in there and screw prisoners. Think about it. What if you had a girlfriend on the outside? You running down on these chicks and then you take whatever you get from them back out in the real world. That's one of the problems we got out here. That's why a lot of people are caught up, because people are so disrespectful with the way they handle themselves, their bodies, and who they put their dick in, and who you give your flower to in the case of women. So we got a lot of craziness running around here now. People don't have respect for themselves and they don't have respect for anybody else. This is proof of it. This guy's an idiot and a clown. I'm glad he's behind bars. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Under no circumstances, regardless of the situation, should somebody get violated the way this guy violated these women, or that other guard that did it with the men. just doing that and crushing somebody's spirit that's already in a position of incarceration ain't feeling it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.